The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Part 1. The Quiet Revolution Within. What if success wasn't about doing more, but about becoming more? What if true effectiveness had nothing to do with outer achievement, and everything to do with inner alignment? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is not a book about techniques. It's a guide to transformation, a spiritual framework for living with integrity, purpose, and peace. Stephen R. Covey didn't just write about habits, he revealed laws of life, principles that, when lived, bring harmony between who you are and what you create in the world. The journey begins not with control, but with awareness, not with ambition, but with character. The path of the 7 habits is the path from dependence to independence, and finally, to interdependence, the highest expression of maturity and wisdom. This is not a method for time management, it's an invitation to live by timeless truth. Part 2. The first 3 habits, mastery of the self, for you cannot lead others until you learn to lead your own mind. Habit 1. Be proactive. You are not a product of your circumstances, you are a product of your choices. Between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space lives your power to choose. Most people react to life's weather, but the effective soul acts from inner vision. You stop saying, "It's not my fault," and begin asking, "What can I create here?" Responsibility, the ability to respond, is the first sign of awakening. When you realize your power to choose, you stop waiting for change and start becoming it. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. You live 2 creations, first in your imagination, then in the world. Every house, every movement, every destiny begins with a mental image. To live consciously is to hold a vision of the life you wish to live, and align every choice toward that vision. Covey invites you to write your own eulogy, to imagine how you wish to be remembered. Not for wealth or fame, but for the kind of love, character, and contribution you offered. When you see the end clearly, the present becomes purposeful. You stop drifting. You begin designing. Habit 3. Put first things first. Now comes the discipline of alignment. It's not enough to know your priorities, you must live them. You learn to say no to what is urgent, so you can say yes to what is important. Most people spend their lives reacting to noise. The effective person acts from values. You stop managing time and start managing energy. You learn that leadership is about living in harmony with your principles, moment by moment. Part 3. The next 3 habits, mastery of relationship. When you are grounded in principle, you no longer seek to control others, you seek to understand and uplift them. This is the transition from independence to interdependence, the birth of collaboration. Habit 4. Think win-win. True success is not about defeating others, it's about creating harmony where everyone can grow. Win-win is not naive, it's courageous. It requires empathy, integrity, and abundance of spirit. When you see life as a field of cooperation, competition dissolves into creation. You no longer fight for a bigger slice, you learn how to make the pie bigger for all. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Listening is not waiting to speak. It is entering another person's world without judgment. Most listen to reply. Few listen to truly understand. When you listen with your heart, walls fall. Healing begins. To be understood is a gift. To understand is divine. Through deep empathy, you discover connection beyond words and influence born of compassion. Habit 6. Synergize. Synergy is the music of collaboration, where differences do not divide, but amplify the whole. When open minds and hearts unite, the outcome exceeds the sum of its parts. Synergy is creation through relationship. It's the invisible third energy that arises when love meets purpose. You no longer fear the differences in others, you celebrate them. Because synergy is not compromise, it is creation born of unity. Part 4, the final habit, the circle of renewal. Habit 7, sharpen the saw. The journey doesn't end with achievement, it renews itself through balance. You are body, mind, heart and spirit. Neglect one and all suffer. To sharpen the saw means to rest, to reflect, to reconnect, to nourish yourself so you can serve again. You pause not to escape, but to realign. You care for your physical health, your emotional peace, your spiritual grounding, and your mental growth. Rest is not laziness, it is sacred maintenance. It is how you keep your edge sharp and your soul awake. Part 5. Living a principle-centered life. Effectiveness, Covey reminds you, is not success at any cost. It is living by principles that don't shift with time. Character is destiny, and principles are the laws that shape it. When you live by external validation, you are tossed by every wind. When you live by eternal values, you become calm amidst the storm. This is not self-help, it is self-mastery through service. You lead not by control, but by example. You succeed not by domination, but by contribution. And in doing so, you find peace, the peace that comes from integrity lived fully. Part 6. The legacy within. When you embody the 7 habits, you don't just become effective, you become whole. You move from reaction to creation, from scarcity to abundance, from isolation to harmony. You become a conscious participant in the great order of life, and you understand that greatness is not a title but a way of being. It is the quiet strength of a person aligned with truth. And when you live from that place, your life becomes your message. Your actions ripple outward, awakening others to their own power. This is the ultimate habit, to live so intentionally that your very being becomes a blessing to the world.